There's a lot of items that are in the grocery stores that you think are healthy, and really they have these toxics within.
Hi, I'm Moshe Popek, and welcome to Common Denominator. Today we speak with Erica Groussman. She's the founder and CEO of TRUBAR, a plant-based protein bar. Erica launched TRUBAR in 2019, and it's now in 15,000 retailers. And in 2024, TRUBAR surpassed $50 million in revenue.
I wanted to create this to go out there, get it on the market. I had a lot of people who were rooting for me, but I had a lot of people also who were like, how? What are you talking about? That's crazy.
What would you say is the common denominator of all successful founders? Hi, Erica, and welcome to Common Denominator.
Thank you so much for having me. What an honor.
Thank you. Before we get into what's in TRUBAR, what is not in TRUBAR, and why is that a good thing?
Well, there's none of the junk, right? They're clean. They don't mess up your GI. They're just these clean, delicious bars. So there isn't any of the junk.
So what's typical when you say junk? So just as far as like a framework, what is it that's going on as far as influence every day in America regarding the food system of things that we're intaking?
Yeah, a lot of artificial sugars, like for sugar alcohols. We don't use any sugar alcohols or soy, which is not good for us. It's in a lot of foods because it's easy. Or any of the fillers that are, inexpensive. There's so many things that can make this bar taste better and maybe have a better texture, but then they're going to disrupt our bodies. Seed oils. Seed oils are very inexpensive, but terrible. They wreak havoc inside of our bodies.
I always see it as three things, right? It's the food you intake, the sleep, and the exercise, right? So the food, you are what you eat. You've gone on your own personal journey, understanding about eating healthy. It's habits, right? We're used to eating certain foods for so long. But let's say, someone's so intimidated, right? They're like beginning. What would you recommend them starting to be aware? Okay, let me stay away from this and start eating these foods. Where would you start with that?
Yeah, I think it's important to be able to read a label and understand it. So I would educate yourself. Make sure that you can actually pronounce those words. For starters.
I love that. Yeah.
Seed oils are one thing that I really try to stay away from. And of course, there's, you're at restaurants and you don't know what they're putting in it. And it is what it is. And let's not be like drive ourselves crazy. But for the most part, at home, I don't allow any seed oils in our house. And there's a lot of items that are in the stores, that are in the grocery stores that you think are healthy. And really, they have these toxic seed oils within that are just not good for you.
So is it the decision because it's cheaper for the manufacturers?
Absolutely.
To put all this garbage inside the food, it's just cheaper, and they don't really care. As long as you're going to consume it, and it's just business, right? And the margins are higher. So what is in a TRUBAR?
First off, we have protein. We have brown rice pea blend. And so that's the number one, and that's where you get the 12 grams of protein. And then we have cassava blended with a fiber syrup that gives you your fiber. And we're high in fiber, which is huge. And a lot of the people who are using the GLP-1 are now enjoying TRUBARs because it does have that great fiber content, which is, hard to get in your diet. And then we have other ingredients that are just clean, that make it taste good, that make the texture. But we did have seed oils in a couple of years ago. I didn't know, it wasn't mainstream. When I was building out the bar, that just wasn't knowledge I had, right? So as I learned about seed oils, I made the change. So I started it about maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, and it was finalized, just around a year and a half ago, I'd say, ish. So people can choose, and brands can choose to make the bars or the popcorns or the snacks better. It's just if they want to go through the labor, the costs, right? It's very costly. And then it's the residual cost of it, right? That ingredient does cost more. Sunflower oil is much cheaper, or canola oil. Like, these oils are much less expensive.
But is there a market, maybe, yes, People that know, okay, this is quality ingredients, and you're gonna have to pay a premium. And that's the saddest thing I find in America is that you have to be able to afford whole foods.
Right.
That's the craziest thing, because I remember my wife, she was telling me, like, there was like a ShopRite, and she lived in Queens, and just go downstairs, and whatever was available was all this terrible processed foods, and then the fast food restaurants were all there, and the banana was like brown, so you'd have like one banana, like nothing there. And I think that goes on today across America, that you don't have access unless you can afford it. So you have to afford to live near a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's, where even then you still have to check the ingredients. Because I remember I saw this video where even in Whole Foods there's like this plastic kind of film around the apples. I don't know if you saw that.
Peel.
The peel.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right. We even peeled the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Because it's right. So you got to be for the chemicals.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that
you
they
can-
last longer.
They last longer.
So the
That's right.
margins are better. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? I definitely agree that people should get educated and start reading kind of what's in the ingredients. How many different flavors do you have of the
We have
TRUBAR?
12 different flavors.
And what's your favorite?
They're all my children. Right now, I've been gravitating towards the cocoa for coconuts. It's delicious. The cookies and cream and the strawberry shortcake, I would say. The new ones are kind of more my favorites.
Yeah, I love the creativity on the names.
Yeah, it's fun.
But obviously the space, there's a lot of competition, right?
Absolutely.
So take us back to when you started this journey. Like, what was going on? I always find, founders that have the drive to see something fully through. There's an underlying why, and I'm going to do this no matter what. Paint the picture a little bit about, as a founder, what's going on. I'm going to create this bar. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I just wanted something that did taste good, because there was all these other bars that they might have tasted good, but then you felt terrible afterwards. You felt bloated. Your belly was big. You felt doubled over. You felt like there was something like a pit in your stomach. And I just didn't want that. I wanted something that you wanted to consume and then you felt good afterwards. So we don't use sugar alcohols, which is one of the parts that make you bloat, right? In addition to the other ingredients like soy and, other ingredients that you can't read, we use organic cane sugar. And it makes it taste good. It makes the texture good. And it makes you feel good afterwards. Like, it's okay to have sugar. And that's another misconception in this day and age, that, you can't have any sugar. No, we can all have some sugar. Like, we're human. You need fuel. You just shouldn't overload. The candies, the excess sugar is no good. But to have some sugar with your protein and your fiber, that's great. Enjoy it.
I know you mentioned you use pea protein. What's the issue? Because I know a lot of bars and shakes, we have like whey protein. What's the
We're
issue?
vegan. That's all. So
that's
we
right.
use a brown rice / pea
I
protein
see.
blend.
But you have nothing necessarily
against whey. So I look at it as, if you're going to have a good quality whey product, great. But if you're going to a cheap whey protein, just think of what the cow's environment is.
Exactly. So 2019, how does the actual process start, right? So you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Do you manufacture here in the U.S.?
We do. We have a couple of co-manufacturers within the U.S. Yeah, I wanted to create this. I decided to create it, to go out there, get it on the market, go. And, I had a lot of people who were rooting for me, but I had a lot of people also who were like, how? What are you talking about? That's crazy. Even my husband after a little was like, that's a zero. Like, don't worry about it. And he wasn't saying it to be mean, but he was saying it like, go enjoy life. Like, go play tennis. Go, go do something that you enjoy, because this is not going to work and you're wasting your time. That fueled me.
Right. Exactly. Right. That's right. And you're also a mom, right? So you have right. So you gotta juggle that. But and going into 2000, right before COVID. So what does that look like? You make a business plan. Do you even make a business plan, or you're like, okay, I'm gonna go?
Yeah, we created the business. I had someone come in to help operate it. And that person totally failed me. I was being a new wife, trying to be the perfect good wife to my husband and taking care of 2 little kids and, doing mom things. And when the company was in shambles with no sales, with nothing, that's when I just kind of was like, okay, you know what? An operator didn't work. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to make it happen. And that's what I did. And I would just drive around and put it into people's mouths. I would go to every yoga studio, Pilates studio, hair salon, anyone and everybody that I knew, I would ask favors for. And put my tail between my legs and just like, please, like, here, take these, put them on the counter and sell them. And once you sell them and make profit on your own, I'll come back and talk to you.
Right.
And I just felt like that was the best way to get it out there.
Right. So in other words, you wouldn't even ask, like, can you buy this? You just like sample this, try it, right?
Here.
Let's try it.
No, absolutely.
Right.
Like, here's a mixed variety. We had 4 flavors at the time. Give them 12 or 14 bars of a mix. Here you go. It had a little laminated back that I created at Kinko's and a bathroom, like a Bed Bath & Beyond wooden bamboo little box. And it was pretty on the countertops. And that's what I did. And I just, any place we went, we were visiting a different city, I would do the same thing.
So you'd go all over.
Yeah. We were like at grandma's house, Scottsdale. I would be like, who do you know? What are your yoga studios? Da, da, da. Yeah, absolutely.
How would you deal with rejection? Like,
I wasn't getting rejection because I was giving something for free. So it was actually pretty easy.
right. No, but that concept, the giving part and the free part, I feel when I break down and how many people I've had on the show, and that's the common denominator. In other words, okay, reverse engineer success. So give 100%, not make up lies in your head. You do whatever it takes and giving, and give that for free. Even though during that time while you're giving, maybe in the circle that you're around don't appreciate it, but eventually
It will come back.
that's what I see. So we have to get away from the take mentality and switch to give, where give becomes your habit completely.
Yes.
And in that creates a vessel for abundance. I mean, I've seen it every single time.
Are we talking Kabbalah now?
It could be, right? Right. I had David Ginion on the show.
You did? Oh, he's amazing.
Yes.
Well, a CBG genius.
Right. Great.
So I actually really believe in that. Not to
Right.
take us off, but like
Right.
I was at one of his seminars and I'm all about manifesting. And afterwards I went to a Super Bowl party and I had been talking about Bethany Frankel. That I like wanted to get in front of her. She has to try the bars. She has to see them. And then she was at a Super Bowl party with me directly following my my meeting with David. So she tried them and did a whole like story on it.
If you have clarity, and again, I guess it does mirror a lot of the Kabbalistic teachings, but there's a universal, teachings to this, is that, and I've seen it, you put it out there, it's never going to be according to your time. It'll be, you put it out there and you just say it, but you're clear. And every single time it'll come back 6 months, a year. And I was telling the guys right before the show, it's exactly what happens every single time. You don't have to push it. It's hard. It's hard to trust the universe, but every time it happens exactly that way. So full start, right? Burning through money. You have this operator. And you give out the free bars. So what's happening now? So you're giving out the free bars, and people like them, I guess?
So I was seeing that people were buying them all, and they were like, okay, yeah, I want to order them. So then they would order. I would give them a great deal because I look at it as marketing, right? Yeah. It's on their countertop. If they have 100 people walking in and out of there, just them seeing it is, to me, a prize. Eventually, it just would start to pick up. Other people would hear about it. There's a lot of those customers that we still have today that still have these little brown boxes on their countertop. So slowly evolved. And, my big break was really Whole Foods. I was harassing someone on LinkedIn. And finally, someone responded. I was reaching out to everyone in Whole Foods. And finally, one guy named Travis, he allowed us to come into the Rocky Mountain region. And that was like our first big break. And it was like, oh my God, we made it. We made it.
Wow. And then are you nationwide in Whole
We
Foods?
are, yeah.
That's amazing. And
Yeah, we're nationwide Whole Foods. We're in Target, Walmart, we're Costco, every Costco in the nation. We're actually in Costco, Mexico, and Canada. Yeah, we're 18,000 stores in the United States and a little over 5,000 in Canada.
So when you started in 2019,
No, I
everybody
never
said,
dreamt of this.
oh, you never dreamt of it. So you
No.
were thinking, so where was your vision?
I knew that this bar was going to be in everyone's mouth, but I didn't like picture that it would be as big as it is.
We've talked also on the show before about imposter syndrome. And I like to always peel back the layers of what's really going on. We see, whether in tequila brands or things like that, right? So you have the base and you've proven that you're scalable. Where do you go? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
I have no idea.
You have no idea, right?
No idea.
No idea.
There's so many different versions it could go.
How many people are on your team now?
We have 12 people on our team.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, so in other words, you sub out all the manufacturing and you have agreements with distributors.
Yep. So we use the broker method. So we have brokers for all of our retailers. And then there's some sales. We have a small sales team. And I mean, if you asked me a year ago how many employees, we were doing almost 50 million in sales. And it was like 3 of us outside of finance. And that is because I wore every hat known to man. I didn't sleep and I was a stress case and just made it happen. But there was, I was doing all of the purchasing of all the ingredients. I was watching the co-man. I was doing all the packaging. I mean, just every hat there possibly was. Now we had to obviously evolve into.
Right. How was that for you? Because I know.
It's amazing.
In other words, stepping back.
It took a minute.
Right.
It was a little difficult in the very beginning.
Because you're just used to it, right?
Yeah.
So,
But I don't have nightmares anymore. So it's like I'm enjoying it.
yeah, my wife asked me the other day, could we work together? She's like, right, which is the whole thing. And this is a probably 10-year journey. We have 11 children and I'm trying to get her retired. She's like, do you think if I step away, it was like this moment because she's so used to everything happening. Like I find the headaches and she like manages them, right?
Yeah.
And if I step away, do you think everything will be okay? I'm like, it'll be fine. It's okay. It's been fine till now.
Wow.
We'll figure it out. So yeah, that switching hats, the founder, right? The founders don't, right? And then they have this corporate, you gotta just keep stepping back. I know I had to do that many times. So I just step back, but I tell my guys, I'm just available for the worst problems.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone knows I'm very you
definitely have to do that. If you had your dream, is it an exit? What does it look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think a strategic will purchase us. I think that it's ultimately where this whole journey will go, but I just want to be in everyone's home. I want to be, I want everyone to know of TRUBAR and have tasted it and love it and be a trusted brand.
And not to necessarily talk about the competition, but just so people know, what would you say is the main X factor compared to every other bar out there?
That we taste phenomenal. Like the taste is like what everyone raves about. The taste, the texture is bar none.
I've been journeying on that, and I think that's what the texture and the taste are probably right, and low in calories and protein, right? So, what would you say is your true superpower as a founder?
That I stay calm, that I assess things in like a very relaxed manner of how are we going to fix this? Like anything could go wrong and I'm not like frantic or, upset. It's just like, okay, how are we solving for this? Like, what are we doing? And I think that I actually love that. Not that I want things to go wrong because I don't want to think about it that way, but I love fixing. I love being the solver, like coming in and, oh no, we don't have this ingredient. Don't worry. Like,
Right.
I'll find it.
To be calm and collected, yes, I believe that is a superpower. Everyone's like, oh my God, this whole thing's going to fail. I can have my entire boardroom, the entire team, and okay, let's breathe. right?
Exactly.
And the more times you do that, there's cyber attack, and
Yeah,
people
everything
are
can be fixed. Like we just have to like think about how we're solving for it.
an easy, solve generally is picking up the phone immediately. By the way, we're dealing with this. These are potential solutions that we're working on. We're working through. I just wanted to let you know. They appreciate that more than anything else.
I agree.
Right?
Transparency.
The transparency. What is something, Erica, that you're grateful for?
I'm grateful for everything. I'm like a very grateful person. So like I'm grateful for being here right now. I'm grateful that, Dave introduced us. Like I always look at, I'm all about positivity and being thankful and showing gratitude. So I'm grateful for my health, my family, my life. That's like there's too many things.
You've created a habit of gratitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's super, super important. What would you say is the common denominator of all successful founders?
Lack of sleep.
Probably. No, well, I had that part with the business and part with having a bunch of kids, and I used to love sleep, and then you just gotta
You forget about it.
It's like,
that doesn't matter.
we got stuff to do.
No, I think it's the go-getter mentality. It's the hustler, right? Like I think that most people who are successful are just driven and know that it just needs to get done. Whatever it is needs to get done. They don't look at things that it's below them.
Yeah, we need more and more of those.
Doers.
Doers, yeah. To find the doers consistent, hard. I agree. Well, I want to wish you much success. I think it'll be tremendous. It is tremendous, and it'll continue to grow with your family, and I really appreciate it. How can people find you on social, connect, and get some TRUBARs?
Yeah, it's TRUBAR.com, TRUBAR.com. There's no E there. I'm Erica TRUBAR on Instagram, and our bar Instagram is TRUBAR.brands. We're at Costco, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods.
I really appreciate it, Erica.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed my conversation with Erica. If you haven't already, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. Subscribing ensures you never miss an episode, and it helps us continue to bring you meaningful conversations that make a difference. Thank you for being part of our growing community. We couldn't do this without you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.